Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today so that we can discuss The Woman Who Joined the Taliban. So this is a documentary about a woman named Beverly Giesbrecht, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, who was basically had like a live hard, play hard, work hard kind of mentality. She liked to make money, make social connections, party hard, drink hard. But after the events of 9/11, she went through some pretty like drastic, lifestyle changes. She began to wonder, like, what the world's military forces were doing in Afghanistan and other countries. She began to feel like it was just all about targeting and eliminating Muslims. She started like a website, I think it was called like Jihad Unspun or something like that. And it was supposed to be a balanced look, but really it was just her basically one big op-ed, her stating her opinions. It got a lot of attention. It got labeled as misinformation and propaganda by the State Department. And eventually it got the attention of the real Taliban, and she did put together a little trip to try to go over and make a documentary to show the inside of the Taliban. From her perspective, she thought she would show that it wasn't the way that the world thought. And that's what this documentary follows. This is a really interesting story. I guess I would really like to see more interviews with Beverly and maybe get an idea of what was going through her mind in some parts of this. She eventually loses her protection that was afforded to her because of her, her prominence from her website. That ended up getting taken away from her, and eventually she would be imprisoned and held for like $2 million ransom, plus people released from Guantanamo Bay or something like that. But anyway, it did not go well for Beverly, and the entire time she's kind of admitting that like she's in over her head, that things aren't the way that she thought, but she has a real difficulty like aligning reality with like her preconceived notions, and she just can't seem to get past that. Like, she'll admit that like the things she's seeing are like horrifying, and the treatment of women is is gut-wrenching to her, but she won't really like ever address it in any way. But anyway, it was an odd decision to go over there, definitely, but she was passionate about it. She did have a documentary crew with her who were also imprisoned for quite a while. But she was offered the chance to leave and told, like, basically, you got to get out of here. We can't protect you anymore. And she ignored that. So she did have chances to leave. But it's just a really interesting documentary about, kind of the effects of media and, the news and social media being isolated. And also just like trying to force yourself into cultures that you don't really understand. Beverly definitely had some issues. I mean, she was telling people who were like lifelong, devout Muslims that they were wrong about Islam. And like, I just can't imagine the mentality behind like having that attitude. But it's a really interesting documentary. It's sad, it's depressing, but it is interesting, and it has a lot of really interesting cultural elements to it as well. And honestly, quite a bit of just like really interesting footage as well. So if you're into, I wouldn't really call it a political documentary, but if you're just into like cultural documentaries or, interesting people that lived very interesting lives, check out The Woman Who Joined the Taliban. But that's my review for this documentary. If you want to check out more, I've got a full playlist right here on YouTube, as well as tons of other stuff. But thanks for watching this video. I do greatly appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you soon.